A very good evening to each and every one of you watching us. Welcome to the Not So Late Night Darts Show by HYLO. It is a jubilant day for our little show, really, as it is the 10th episode. And so welcome to each and everyone that is watching us via Zoom and on YouTube. For everyone that is joining us on Zoom, I can tell you that we love if you participate with us, if you interact with us, so you will get the chance to ask our two stars of the show a couple of questions later on. You can do that if you raise your virtual hand towards the bottom of your screen. There's a function where it says, raise your hand, or in German it says Handheben. So if you do that, I know that you want to ask a question, and at certain points in the show, I will give you the chance to do that. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome for this little anniversary darting royalty on the show, the 2018 World Darts Champion Voltage, Rob Cross. Hi there, Rob. Good to see you.
How you doing? You all right? Thanks for having me.
And speaking of royalty, the one and only King, the King, Mervyn King. Hi there, Merv.
Hi, how are we doing?
Not too bad at all, not too bad at all. Merv, we've been in touch the last couple of days, obviously, setting this up and getting this ready. And as I'm very, very paranoid about everything that's got to do with technical devices, I like to get things tested. And you told me we can do the test, but only after I've finished work, after I've come home from work. So that's made, waves last year, actually, that you decided to pick up a regular job. So you're still doing that, Merv?
A bit different now. I was delivering delivery driver, but I've knocked that on the head in the last couple of months. I've been doing, last couple of weeks, I should say, probably about a month and a half, construction company. I formed that with a friend of mine.
So we can see here in the picture a massive newspaper in the UK. They were on to you, and they found out, and they reported on that. Remember that well. So Rob, obviously the breaks that you've got at the minute between the events, as we've got all the Players' Championships sort of put in a bundle of 4, the breaks are quite large. So you've got a lot of time on your hand, really. How are you spending it?
Yeah, I just sort of spending it at home, spending a bit of time with the family and the kids and stuff. I have to admit, my little girl's just got a new little pony. It's a bit fresh, it's only young. So, just having a little playground with them, really, and just sort of having a good bit of quality family time, hoping that in a couple of months that it'll go back to normal, really, or close, but get a few more tournaments. But no, just pottering around. I do a bit of work here and there and stuff, and it's just nice, really, just to see the kids and get a bit of family time.
Back to normal. Obviously, that's what we're all hoping for. The great news that for the last 5 days of the Premier League, the fans are going to be back in the UK. Merv, that is for the entire sport, obviously, great news to have the fans back there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the atmosphere with the crowd there is second to none. We do miss it a lot, to be honest with you.
Well, it's certainly much more enjoyable than the can noise that you're getting at the event at the minute. That's strange, isn't it?
It is. I mean, they do the best to make a false crowd, if you like, with the noise, but it's not there. It doesn't sound the same. It doesn't produce the same sort of atmosphere. But I suppose it's better than being deadly silent.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, Rob, for you it must be the same, and a bit of a shame for you actually to not be there for the final 5 days of the Premier League. I'm sure you would have loved to enjoy that as quickly as possible, to have the fans there.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, massive disappointment not to get through and stuff. It's one of them, and just sort of a road to redemption, I suppose, for me at the minute. But it's sort of looking at it, I think it's fantastic news for all of us, really. I know I've missed the crowd now for over a year and stuff. It's hard. To get momentum and get buzzing where you want to be and stuff. Having a crowd there, it's a lot easier to sort of get your best stuff out. So sort of going forward, really looking forward to getting some fans back in and, producing some good stuff again.
Now, what we're always doing when we're trying to pick 2 guests for our show, we always try to go for 2 guys that get along well, that are friendly with each other. And we know that, Rob, you and Merv, you've got a cracking relationship, really. But the last time, really, that you were in the eye of the big public, let's say at the Masters, there was this incident, let's call it. We'll have a look at the photo here. It was this very moment when you stepped towards the right of the jockey to have a good look at the double 16. But I trust, because I saw you at the Super Series, that you sorted it out quite quickly, Rob.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Merv's always been a good friend to me, all the way through the PDC from the early days when I started 4 years ago, and he's always given me advice and other things. Unfortunately, that day I stepped right, and I have to say I look thinner there than what I do at the minute. I've got a lot of weight. I have to admit, you've made me feel quite sort of jealous here. I said, like, I must have a gallon drum on me gut at the minute because it don't look like that. That's for sure. No, but at the same time, look, me and Merv have always been great friends and stuff from the time really of me turning up to the PDC the first time I played him. And at the end of the day, life's too short, and good friends, they always stick by each other, and we go again. And that's what life's all about, I believe.
Merv, I mean, we could see after that match at the post-match interview, I mean, obviously you were delighted to win, but it was playing on your mind. It was bothering you that happened, really, that incident.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them things. There's no way Rob done that on purpose. And I should have said that in the interview, but it's hard to recall and say exactly what you want to do or exactly what you want to say in an interview straight after a game. You miss a lot of stuff out. Rob wouldn't have done that on purpose, but I had to say something, or I wouldn't have been true to myself. If I see it, I have to say. If I hadn't have seen it, then obviously I wouldn't have said anything. But as Rob said, we're great friends on and off the hockey. But when we play each other, I want to beat him. He wants to beat me. Regardless of who wins, we're friends afterwards. And we always will be.
That sounds absolutely perfect, and it's great to hear, I think, for darts fans as well, that after that little incident, you guys are basically back to this, which is fun. Which is really great to see. I mean, as I said, I could see it at the Super Series. You had sorted it out quite quickly, and everything was back to normal. I mean, Merv, as Rob mentioned there, you guys got along from the start, really, when Rob turned up, and my God, how he turned up on the circuit back in 2016, really. When was the first time that you really took notice of Rob Cross and you thought, oh, this is someone to look out for here?
When I played him in the final of the playoffs to get through to a European event, first one of the year, edged him out, and it was an edge out as well, because I think he missed, was that 2 or 3 at tops, Rob? Something like that, but wide.
Mate.
Hey?
Only 2.
Mate, that's too far back. I can't remember. But no, that was like, this boy can play. So he burst onto the scene, and look, he's won the World Championship. So he's not far off, is he?
It certainly didn't go too bad. I mean, Rob, from your side, to have someone like Mervyn as your mate who can give you advice, because I mean, yes, you've won the World Championship, you've won the World Match Play, you've won the European Championship, but you're still basically a new guy. You've been there for 5-6 years, something like that, when you count the Challenge Tour as well. So it must be brilliant to have someone like Merv, who's played 25 World Championships in his career, to give you a bit of advice.
I'm feeling old now.
I picked friends that old. Don't choke on that water, Merv, eh? No, it's brilliant, really. Just the knowledge of Merv. But Merv's a nice guy, I know, also. But in a darts way and talking about the game and stuff, he said to me when we throw early on in the first year, but the year what I won the Worlds, the body was moving too much, and I needed to sort of calm it down a bit, which I did. And then obviously, I think 5 months later, I went on to win the Worlds and had a great run in through the TVs in the back end of the year. He's a very knowledgeable man, really. 25 years he's experienced. He's still got bags full more experience than what I've got, to be honest. But it's good to have around. And, a lot of people probably wouldn't help people here and there. But he's one of them what does go out of his way. He will help me, and I'm very grateful for that.
I think Rob's made a good point there, Merv. I think it was Eric Bristow's dad, who once told him that he taught Phil Taylor too well. Is there this small sort of border where you say, okay, I can't teach him everything because I'm still competing against him?
If I can help anybody, I will. It's one of them things. I would say it's pretty much like a professional golfer. If you happen to, I mean, I love golf as well. If I'm out playing with a professional, and he'll always, no matter who it is, they'll always give you a little tip, a little advice, a little drill to do to make your game better. And I'm pretty much the same. I mean, I can see there's quite a few people in the game where if they just changed one or two tiny little things, that'd make them a far better player. But I can't help everybody. Do you know what I mean? And I'm trying to help myself here.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna speak about that later. Obviously, I mean, you did a bit of changes here and there, obviously to equipment and your throw. We're going to talk about that later on because that worked out just fine for you. You mentioned the golf there. Golf is a big thing between amongst darts players. Really, there are a couple of you that are really playing quite well.
I used to play well before the lockdown last year.
Yeah.
I was heading towards single figure handicap. I got down to 9.5. And then the lockdown happened, and of course we all know what happened after that. It's not playing for a while, and when I did play, it wasn't very pretty. It's I'm more like an octopus falling out of a tree now instead of a golf swing.
That's a very nice picture I've got in my head there now. Thank you for that. So guys, I don't know if you saw that on social media. I know that Merv, you're not too active on social media, but I think Rob might have seen it. So if you ever want to play a pairs competition together and you need a proper nickname for your team, we've got you covered. Yeah, we've got you covered. We're gonna give We're going to give that to you for free. Yeah, and absolutely no problem.
Brilliant.
It's got a ring to it, doesn't it?
I'm glad you did.
We need to move one of the S's off cross though, make King's Cross.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. But we've got two S's, so why not? Why not? So as I said earlier, this is a bit of an interactive show, and we want to give our viewers here a chance to get in touch with the pros, with the stars, and if they raise their hand, they can ask you a question. And there is one person at the minute who did just that, who raised his hand, and it's Ricardo, and we're going to get Ricardo in the midst of us here, and he can then ask a question to either Mervyn King or Rob Cross, or maybe both. You never know. So we'll see now if we can hear him in a couple of seconds, I hope. If he unmutes himself. And we're very patient here. We're very patient anyway. So there we go. We should hear him now. Hi there. Hi there, Ricardo. How are you doing?
Geht das auch auf Deutsch?
Das geht auch auf Deutsch, Ricardo. Grüß dich.
Sehr gut.
Du kannst auch die Frage gerne auf Deutsch stellen und dann übersetzen.
Ja, so Englisch ist nicht so mein Ding.
Gar kein Problem. Dann frag gerne auf Deutsch und dann übersetze ich.
Ja. Wie geht's euch?
Das ist die Frage.
Nein. Ja, was heißt Frage? So. Hätte ich jetzt nicht gerechnet, dass ich drankomme.
Ja, wenn du die Hand oben hast. Now we're surprised that he got picked. He's got his hand raised. Of course you're going to get picked.
Ja, Frage. Was ist der beste Weg, um 121 Punkte zu checken?
Oh, and here we go. So the question Ricardo's got is, what would you guys say? What is the best way, or the way you would go for, to go out on 121?
Who's first? Me?
Merv goes first.
It all depends what my opponent's on.
There we go.
You know, if they're on a finish or they're on a double, then it would be treble 20 first start with a big 11 and last start chance at the bullseye. If they're not on a finish, I'd probably go for bullseye or 51 first. Just to more or less, no, I wouldn't say make sure I get a chance at the bullseye, but if they're on a finish, you tend to try and leave one dart at a double guaranteed, so it's sort of the bullseye really. If they're not on a finish, you can afford to miss, so you may go 51, 54, double 8. You know, different ways.
So now, Rob, has he listened to the King's advice? Would he go the same way?
Yeah, it just depends on the pressure moment, really, of where you are in the game, I suppose. Look, I'd prefer to go 25 under no pressure, but obviously, if there's pressure there, you'd always start in the treble 20. It depends with me and all, because I'm a little bit cagey. If I'm confident that I think I'm going to get it, I'll probably risk it for a biscuit, to be honest. I'll throw for the treble 20. If I hit that, I'll probably go for the 25. So, yeah, I'm not too good on bullseye these days, so I'd rather go for 36.
Ricardo, hast du die Antworten verstanden?
Ich habe verstanden, worum es geht.
Okay.
Andere Frage. Habe ich noch eine kurze Frage?
Nee, wir nehmen jetzt gleich noch jemand anderen mit der Frage. Ich sagte noch, also Murph hat gesagt, wenn der Gegner auf Finish steht, dann geht er über die Triple 20. Ja, und Rob sagt auch, wenn man unter Druck ist, dann eher über die 20 spielen und ansonsten auch gern mal zum Start über das Single Bull. Das ist auch eine Variante.
Super, vielen Dank.
Ricardo, gar kein Problem. Schön, dass du dabei bist und genieß den Rest der Show. Bis bald.
Dankeschön.
Ciao.
Ciao.
So that was Ricardo, and now all the others, they realize, oh, there's really someone getting picked, and now they've raised their hand. And we've got someone who sounds, name-wise, very much like an English-speaking person. It's Georgie. So we're going to get Georgie Redford in the mix here to ask a question, because then the language barrier is out of the window, which is brilliant. Now, Georgie, if you unmute yourself, we can hear you. That worked now. Hi there, Georgie.
How you doing, mate?
How are you doing, pal? Where are you watching us from?
Pardon?
Where are you watching us from tonight?
From my phone. In England.
All right, mate. All right. So what's your question? Got a question for Rob or for Mervyn?
I've got them for both, mate.
All right, then shoot.
What got you into darts, Rob and Mervyn?
You want to go first, Rob?
Yeah, I'll go first this time. For me, it was my family. They all played darts. So when I picked a dart up late 11. But the family, where they all played and they played for years, and it was something what I watched while I was growing up and stuff. That's really what got me into it. And I don't know, me and my uncle at the time, me and him are quite competitive and always have been. So really, I wanted to give him a hand in an event, which I managed. So I'm very glad with myself.
That's
awesome.
Well, I was 12 years old. I got given an old rolled cardboard dartboard with the plastic wires and a set of brass darts with an all-in-one stem and flight. I put it on the back of my bedroom door, and my father went, if you're going to play this game, it goes at that height and you stand this far away from it. And from my first throw it just got me. I just loved the game, and still do.
Oh,
that sounds lovely. So, Georgie, thank you very much for your question. Thanks a lot for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the show, mate.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
So this is the first two viewer questions. And I mean, Merv, you already mentioned at the start when we were talking about the 25 World Championships that you took part in, that you felt a little old. To underline how much experience you've got, we found a clip on the internet.
No.
It is Mervyn King's very, very first TV appearance at the BDO Gold Cup in 1994, October of 1994. And we're going to have a look at this here. It's only a short little clip there.
Third leg, and Mervyn to throw first. Game on!
So to stay in the Embassy Gold Cup, he must take this leg. Mervyn King, all to do. A lot of pressure.
100!
Well, that's the stance, the style of one Mervyn King, hoping to take this leg in the set to take us all the way.
60! Mervyn requires 32.
Take us all the way, double 16.
Yes! That's the second leg to Mervyn King.
There it is then.
Now, Mervyn, look at that, 1994. I I was 9 months old then when that when that was filmed. Many questions could be asked. We're going to start with the most important one. Do you still have that fancy leather waistcoat that you wore there?
I do, but it doesn't fit.
I mean, that is that incredible footage there. Really, what's that like for you to see that? I mean, this must be unreal.
Funny enough, I actually someone put that on Facebook about 2 months ago, and I hadn't seen it for probably 10 years since. So I see it a couple of months back, and I was like, oh my god, oh, how young did I look there? And thinner. I know, that's what Rob does.
probably like in Rob's case, the angle of the footage. Yeah, maybe it was that, you know. But TV debut, is that something that you still remember? I mean, also before you saw it a couple of months ago, was that something that you still had in the back of your head?
Yeah, and you know the worst thing about it, I could hear the camera. When it zoomed in and zoomed out, zzz, zzz, when it moved, the lens moved. And apart from that, it didn't bother me at all, you know, TV debut and that, apart from the noise of the lens when he zoomed in and zoomed out.
I mean, Rob, what struck me about that footage really is when you look at Merv's style, it hasn't changed dramatically really since then. I mean, also stance-wise.
Definitely not. If anything, the only thing he's a bit more animated there, isn't he? It's the only difference. You could see he was ready to go. Really. No, with the stance, the whole throw is surprising, isn't it? You look at that 25 years ago or whatever, and it's surprising that nothing has changed really when you do look at him from now.
Yes, Merv, it's odd really, because when you look at footage from the likes of, I don't know, Phil Taylor or Raymond van Barneveld 25 years ago, their throw kind of changed. They've tinkered with it, something here and there. You sort of, you stuck to what you had there.
My philosophy is if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know, I love the way I throw. When it's on, I play superb. It's just a nice throw. I changed it because I got dartitis in my 20s, and I could no longer throw how I used to. And after a break of probably 18 months, nearly 2 years, I just picked the dart up and tried to throw it. And for some reason, I throw it the way I do now, or as you saw on the clip there, just completely different. But within a fortnight, I'd hit a 9 dart like it. So I'm thinking, well, maybe this works.
Well, it's not a bad indicator, is it?
No.
I mean, you said the last couple of months, really, you got that all the time in interviews, that people ask, you know, it's the new darts, and you changed your throw a little bit. What exactly did you change about with your throw from, I don't know, a couple of months back to now? Okay.
I found that I needed to, if you watch from behind me when I throw a dart, you'll see my right elbow sticking out of the side a little bit. Not now. It's more tucked in now. And also I tend to throw the dart a little bit harder and a little bit flatter. There's not quite so much air involved now. So it's just them really. It's because of the change in equipment, and with the longer point and the shorter barrel, it just suited that. I try everything when I try a different setup, a different dart, something like that. I'll try tinkering with the throw, and I mean, it's not a great deal of difference, but having thrown the way I do for more years than I care to remember, it's sometimes easy for me to slip back into that throw. And I think, why aren't these going as well as and then it clicks because my elbow's gone out and because I'm floating the dart in instead of throwing it straight at the target. So it's still going to take a while until it becomes second nature.
So there's still that sounds like a threat to all the other players out there. There's still room for improvement from the last couple of months.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We're gonna keep that in mind. We're gonna keep that in mind, Merv. I mean, Rob, you as well. A couple of months back, you tried a set of new darts. You tried something there. You then went back to the darts that you used to play. What was the process behind that? What was Did it just not work out with the new ones then?
I think with me, I wanted something what was more grippy, so I could actually sort of feel it, that I had hold of it in my hand, and it's like a lot of things with me. I come up with these great ideas, and then I end up backtracking and going back to square one. So it's sort of, for me, I think it's a belief thing. See, I won the Worlds with them darts. I won the match play with them darts. I've won the Europeans with them darts. Every tournament what I've won on the PDC, I've won with them darts. And obviously coming away from them after having a decent bond, and then probably having, well, I've had a fair few hard bumps, obviously, for confidence. And I wanted to pick them up and go back to my originals, really. It's probably just a confidence thing, I suppose. Because if I was in a better place at the time, I would have definitely just stuck to them. I think the first weekend I played with the new darts, I had a nine darter with them on tour, on the Pro Tour against Men's Tour, and I played tidy. So they do work. It's just obviously a confidence thing that I always go back to the old ones.
You mentioned there, Rob, more grip. The new darts of Mervyn, they have got more grip on there. What's the process behind that? Is that something that you go to your sponsor and say, guys, I need something with more grip, or do they provide you with something and you try it out?
No, I do get stuff what I'm provided with, and they say, what do you think, or whatever, but it's more times than not, it's me asking, to be honest, because it's one of them things. I always look at darts and other people's darts, and I think to myself, I wouldn't mind having a go with something like this or something like that and having a little change. I'm not as bad as Peter Wright, obviously, with the way he gets forward, but I always do believe to myself. I'm probably one of these, and I think to myself a little bit bored with them now. I want to try something else, and I do it. I fall flat on my face, and I end up back at square one again. So it's just one of them things. It's, for me, I could use any dart. It's just a confidence thing. That's the thing. I practice with anything, and I'll play well with it, more or less. And all of a sudden, I'll go back to my own ones when you're on the stage and stuff, and you just feel more at home. You feel a lot more comfortable. So it's only really a confidence thing with me to why I don't change darts here and there.
I mean, Merv, Rob just mentioned Peter Wright there. I mean, changing the darts, especially amongst lesser players, amongst the amateur players, you know, they change equipment so often. You're someone, you didn't really change often. When you found something that worked, similar to your throw, really, you stuck to that. What's your take on what Peter Wright does? Because it's quite incredible at times, isn't it?
It is, but I can also understand why he does it. I don't know if Rob's the same, but when I try something new, you go through the honeymoon period, I call it, where you hit everything you look at. And I think maybe I might be wrong here. You'll have to ask Peter, but I think that's what he's looking for every time he changes his darts. That he's going to find that honeymoon period and just blitz the tournament or the opponent. And when they start taking a bit of work to get into the target, then he changes again to look for that honeymoon period again. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's my take on what he does. I've gone through my honeymoon period with these new ones, and I'm happy to work producing the same sort of form as I have been over the last 4 or 5 months. So I stick with it. If something works, I stick with it. And you're going to go through highs and lows, but I'm not afraid to work at it.
Thank God that Peter does only have that approach when it comes to darts. I mean, thank God for Joanne anyway. He's not looking for a honeymoon phase all the time. but that is, I'm sorry about that. But certainly what Merv mentioned there, Rob, I think every darts player knows this. When you pick up a new set of darts, I don't know what it is. Whether you focus more when you pick up a new set, or whether you play without pressure because you don't yet expect to hit the big things with them. But everyone knows that, really, what he mentioned there.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I think definitely with me, it's more of a concentration thing. So if I pick up something what's new, it feels different. I have to concentrate a little bit more because obviously you never really want to throw bad, but it's more of a concentration thing. And then when you do great things with a new thing, it feels brilliant also. So it's pretty much what I've done with my new darts. I was practicing for 2 or 3 months with them, and I was playing out of my skin. And I suppose I sort of just froze when I sort of went on stage with them and started playing there. But they're a great dart. and I have to admit, if I can get anything going, I probably will go back to them because I do like them. I think they're a lovely dart.
So there's maybe something to look forward to for the Voltage fans, maybe a new set of darts to pick up soon. What we're going to do now is we're going to have another couple of viewer questions, and we've got a raised hand from Katrin, and we're going to get Katrin involved here. And that's a German sounding name, so we'll see whether I'll translate or whether Katrin is going to do it in English if she unmutes herself. Oh, here we go.
Hello.
Hi there.
We are German, so can we ask in German?
Of course you can ask in German. That's a lovely landscape you've got there.
Yes, we came from Berlin.
Right.
Hi there.
And we have a question for Rob. Erstens, wann hast du angefangen, dich für Dartsport zu interessieren und hast gemerkt, das ist auch der Sport, den ich wirklich machen will, nicht nur als Hobby, sondern als Beruf? Und zweitens, ich glaube, du hast mittlerweile 4 Kinder. Interessiert sich eins der älteren Kinder auch schon für Dart?
So there's two questions, Rob. The first question is, when did you realize that you've got a special talent for darts, that darts is what you want to do? So that maybe we'll go with the first question first.
Yeah, so it was when I was young. I wasn't too bad when I was 13, but when I was 15 years old, I knew I could throw a dart, I could hit big averages and other stuff. I suppose it was always a dream at the time that I wanted to be a professional dart player. But having a family, what I have and stuff, and they said I need a profession behind me, like electrician and stuff. So I sort of pursued other things, and you always put that off because you've always got bills to pay. So for me, I knew I could play the game. By the time I was 18, I thought I was brilliant, probably better than what I was a year ago or whatever. So yeah, it's sort of, yeah. I suppose with that, I always knew I could throw. So when I was younger.
So that's the first question out of the way. Second question that she asked. It's funny that you mentioned your family already, because she asked that you've got 4 children by now, and does one of the older ones already have an interest in darts? Is there an interest for darts in the family as well?
Yeah, they all have an interest, so which is fantastic. But Leighton is my 9-year-old, and he's just darts crazy. I have to admit, I wish I had his enthusiasm sometimes. He's absolutely brilliant. He drives me nuts with it, but he just absolutely loves it. And the thing is, I think when you're really young like that, I think there's still a lot of growing to do and all for him. So obviously the eye he shoots up, the game should be a little bit easier for him, but he's definitely enthusiastic at the minute.
That sounds good. So there are another couple of crosses coming for the darts world. So Katrin, thank you very much for your question, and thanks a lot for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you very much.
Take care. Thank you.
So here we go, and I think we've got time for one other one, and we're going to go for Joachim. Joachim, that is not an English name, certainly not. So we'll see what Joachim has got to say. He'll be unmuted in a second. Yeah, here we go. Hi there, Joachim.
Hello.
Do you want to, you're from Germany, I trust, yeah?
Ja.
Ja. Möchtest du auf Deutsch fragen oder auf Englisch?
Ich kann es auch auf Englisch probieren.
Ja, dann schieß los, gern.
Maybe both could answer, I don't know. If there was a moment you could change in your darting career, do you have one, and what would that be? I mean, Mervyn's career is longer, of course, but maybe Rob has one too.
That's an interesting question, Joachim. I like that. So maybe Merv goes first, as he's got more career to choose from, really.
There's so many to choose from. I think when I played John Walton in the final of the World Masters and had, I think it was 7 darts at double 4 to win it in straight sets. and hit the wire with all of them and ended up losing the match. I think I'd change that so I actually hit double four.
That sounds sensible there. That sounds sensible. So Rob, what would it be for you if you could change something?
It's an odd question, actually. You sort of look at it, even short term, I should be able to change. I'd like to definitely change my last sort of 14 months, I suppose, but in a bigger picture. But I suppose the way it works out for me, obviously bursting on the scene and everything, I wouldn't really change anything. I think for me, it's been a massive experience in the last 4 years also. Look, everything happens and it's fate, I suppose, but I wouldn't choose to change anything. It is where it is. So I'm just one of these. I like to sort of get on with it, and you digest everything, and you just keep moving forward. So, yeah, particularly for me, I wouldn't change anything, I suppose.
I reckon that's not the worst approach when it comes to playing darts, really. Joachim, thank you so much for your question. A brilliant question. I really like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, pal. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Goodbye.
You're welcome.
We're picking out the viewers to ask the really difficult question. That's the way we're doing it here. I mean, as we were talking about big moments of your careers, Rob, when we talk about you, there's obviously one moment that comes to mind, and that is your fairy tale debut World Championship, and we've actually got that last couple of moments prepared here in a little video. So we're gonna look at the decisive moment when Rob Cross crowned himself the World Darts Champion.
Treble 18 here. I think he loves treble 18. Another double 16 for the World Championship. The moment he's dreamt of. And Rob Cross, an unknown amateur, little more than a year ago, has beaten the legendary Bill Taylor to win the World Championship at his first attempt. There will be no fairy tale farewell for the power. He missed double 12 for a 9-darter, but in the end he was caught in the crossfire and he could find no answer.
Now, Rob, those moments, they are so present for every darts fan, really. How often do you still watch it? Because if I was you, I would watch this about, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a day, I think.
No, not very often, to be honest. It's just so. What I would say, the way you think afterwards, you just think sort of everything's going to come a bit easier. But then, the learning come after them, really, after winning the Worlds with everything. But what I would say is, no, it's sort of watching it. I have to admit, my Leighton, he's always got darts on and he's always watching games, and that's one of his favourite ones, or the Michael Van Gogh one in the semi. And he goes, Dad, have a look at this. Look, look what you've done here. So, no, it's an amazing memories and stuff. And it's always good to look backwards, but you have to look forwards. I'd like to have 5 of them trophies on my mantelpiece in the next sort of, I don't know, my next career, really, next 10 years, I suppose.
Yeah, there's still a lot of years ahead of you when it comes to dart, Rob. I mean, obviously, you would never, ever change that moment for anything, I reckon, winning that World Championship. But winning the World Championship at your first attempt, with all the pressure that came afterwards, because then obviously the expectations are there, not only from yourself towards yourself, but also from the outside, really.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, things change. So in terms of sort of your commitment and stuff, I used to be able to spend a few days at home before and do a few different things, but you just become super busy, and that was a fact of being away from the family and stuff, and you have to get used to it. So don't get me wrong, like I wouldn't change it, but at the same time it was tough. It was a transformation, maybe what I wasn't ready for, but I'm quite okay with now. And I was at the time, in fairness, with the Czech and beating Phil. So, one, two,
That's not a surprise, Rob. That's not a surprise. I mean, Merv, you know, with what we just mentioned, with Rob winning the title at his first attempt, do you think that sometimes people underestimate that he's still quite new, and do you think that people are sometimes a bit overcritical with him?
People tend to be overcritical with every player. You know, there's a lot of emphasis on averages and playing brilliant. Now, yes, we all want to hit those high averages, and we all want to play so well, and we all try 110%, and that's the truth. We do, all of us. But what you have to remember is sometimes you have to win ugly, and by that I mean going up there and working hard at the game because things aren't quite right that day, and you know, you learn something then. You really have to grind the game out. And if you come away winning from a game that you've got to grind out, to me, that feels better than going up there and just smashing them. You know what I mean? We can all play well when they're going well, but to win a game when they're not playing well, to me, that means more to me than anything. You know, and you do get a little bit of criticism from people that, oh, he didn't play very well there, he was lucky to get away with that, and you know, but it's the same. We all have bad days at the office. We all go to work and have a bad day. So if you can produce something at the end of the day when you've had a bad day, then fair play to you.
I mean, Rob, as we mentioned there, you've got 3 big PDC titles already on your mantelpiece there. Thinking about it and thinking what kind of player Merv is, and obviously everyone knows what a cracking player Mervyn King is. It's incredible that this major PDC major title still, or has so far eluded him.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Merv's been numerous finals. He's probably been in more finals than me. In fairness, easy. But look, it's sometimes, Jerry, you need an element of a little bit of luck just for something to drop your way. If we look back on the Players' Championships back last November, I think it was, and Merv made the final. If you look at that and just winning the bullseye, for instance, he would have had 3 darts at double to win that title. If he would have won the bullseye, if legs would have gone the same. So, but they're all ifs and shoulds and coulds. But at the same time, you need a little bit of an element of luck just to sort of get yourself over the line. And if he would have had the bullseye that day, I would imagine he would have won that final, and convincingly, really.
I mean, Merv, as we heard earlier, you have not peaked yet. You certainly feel like you haven't peaked yet. So that hope, that dream of securing that PDC major title, that is certainly still alive and kicking, that.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, as I've said before, I believe I've got a Worlds in me still, even at 55. I still think I've got the game to win the Worlds. People will disagree. People will agree. You know, I'm more involved with what I think. Do you know what I mean? It's how I feel about what I've got to give to this game, what game I've got in me. And I truly believe that I've got the game still in me to win the Worlds, if not the Worlds, at least one major before I retire.
I'm sure there's a lot of darts fans that are rooting for you in that regard, because I think it's from my point of view anyway, that's a career that would certainly deserve that. Rob mentioned that Players' Championship finals game or final against MVG. You might not have won it. It was mightily close, but from my point of view, you still provided us with the moment of that match, with the celebration, or let's say non-celebration after hitting a 1-2-6. We've got to look at it, because that hit me so good. It was just brilliant. Let's have a look here.
Is he on the way to another one? But 3 missed darts here. Now, is this the chance for Mervyn?
It is the chance. Can he take it? He needs a treble with the second one. He gets it. He needs the ball. He gets the ball. And half a celebration.
He went to roar and down.
He thought about it.
I think that was more about making a...
Oh, what a glorious moment, Mervyn King. That was class there. That was real fun.
Yeah, that was... I was never going to large it. It was just a tongue-in-cheek reaction.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously know those moments, obviously, when Michael is giving it large, and I think that was just, you know, with a wink of an eye to give a little bit back there. I think that was cracking, really.
Thank you.
So Rob, we mentioned that you and Mervyn, you two know each other very well. So what we thought, sometimes we like to play a couple of games here on this show. So we wondered, you know this king very well, but how well do you know other kings? You know, there are other kings in the world, apart from our darts king. So, and maybe Mervyn can help out along the way. And if Mervyn can't, then maybe one of our viewers can, and they get to ask a question as a reward. So let's check it. We've got a couple of kings prepared here. Let's see. There we go. There's our first king.
Yeah,
and having
book.
I was going to say, for children, Rob, you must know him, right?
I know every Disney film now. I'm relentless on Disney. Yeah, King Louis off Jungle Book.
By heart, I reckon. So we're going to go into a different direction with our next king here. There's another king.
Martin Luther.
There we go. They're part of the family. Merv knows him.
I was going to say that, and then I thought to myself I didn't want to be wrong because I wasn't 100% sure.
Neither was I.
Murph just went for it there. Like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Just go for it. Yeah, no 50-50s here. So maybe. So we've got another American king here. So Rob, do you know him?
I ain't got a clue. Go on, Merv.
Merv looks like he's got a clue. He's onto something.
Yeah, that's oh. No, I can't. Go on.
No, that is actually the King of Queens. You know the sitcom King of Queens?
Yeah.
Doug Heffernan there. Isn't, you know, he's got something in common with you apart from the name. He's not only a king, he's also the delivery guy as well, Merv. So two things in common there. Now, I think you both know this because this. Yeah, I think Rob knows this.
Yeah, donkey.
There we go. The British people massive into boxing, so we know him.
I think you said donkey there, Rob.
Well, I've got enough donkeys here, to be honest with you, man. I'm surprised you ain't heard them yet. It would have been a nighttime feed to start up.
He always calls me that.
Oh, when I picked the picture, I actually didn't see that he had a Trump button on. But let's not go that way. Let's not go that way. Let's go far away from this, and let's go for another very famous king from the US of A.
You got no chance off me. Definitely not.
No.
no idea there from Mervyn King. So I've just decided we're not going to get the viewers in here. We're going to have two questions after this, then two regular questions. This is actually Talkmaster Larry King from the United States. So now this is a special one. This one is very near and dear to my heart. You might think that the king is the one on the right, but the king, and it's a proper king, is actually the one on the left.
Okay.
You'll pull him James up a bit, doesn't he?
I'm more worried about the boat tune.
Well,
I think you pull that off right.
That picture actually wasn't taken too far away from where I'm sitting. I think that was at the airport in Munich, and that is King Rama of Thailand. I think he wasn't the king at that particular point in time. I think he is now, and he wears uniforms now, and not a uniform like this one there. Anyway. So, and a final one. You both are going to know him, but I've actually picked him because I want to go somewhere with that picture. We've got another king here. Rob, you obviously know him.
Yeah, Corey Kempe.
Corey Kempe. I've only picked him because I wanted to ask you, Mervyn. I mean, there are nicknames in darts and there are nicknames in darts, and I think there's no nickname in the world of darts is as connected to a player as the king is to you, because your name is King, for goodness sake. So when he picked that nickname, the King, was it, and you played him a couple of times as well. How did you feel about that?
Imposter. But I'm not abdicating.
Long live the king. Eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So was there something special to that match when you were playing him? Because
I just wanted to beat him, same as I do with everyone else I play.
and Rob, from your point, because I mean, as I said, I mean, the nickname the King, that goes with Merv, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, Merv's had that for forever, pretty much, isn't he, Merv? But
yeah, I think I was nicknamed the King before he was even born. I think.
Yes.
After
Destiny, that was.
No, definitely. Obviously, someone's had it that long and stuff, and yeah, I probably wouldn't want a copy. But at the same time, look, it's the way you feel. He was a great player and all, great young man. Really was.
I'm flattered.
Now you made Merv feel young again. You see, this is how quickly things change. Obviously. So as I said, as we didn't get our viewers involved there in our little King quiz, we're gonna get someone in here. We've got Timothy Einhorn, and that sounds rather English speaking. So let's keep things level here. We've had a couple of German speaking people, so we're gonna go for Timothy here, and I'm very curious what he's got to ask. And as soon as he has unmuted himself, we are going to listen to him. Hi there, Timothy.
Hi.
How are you doing, pal? Where are you watching from tonight?
I come from Germany.
Oh, you come from Germany? You fooled me with your name, Timothy.
Yeah, I'm half American, so.
Ah, okay, I see. So I wasn't that wrong, really. So, Timothy, go for it. Who's your question going to? Rob or Merv or both?
Firstly, I'm a really huge fan of Mervyn King. He's my second favorite player after Barney.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
I watch you every single game of you, and yeah, I support you every single game.
Thank you.
That is perfect. So, Timothy, what's your question, mate?
I have some problems on training. I want to be a darts player too, and I have some problems. I can't hit doubles under pressure. Can you give me some tips? This question suits both players.
My only tip for that is just keep practicing your doubles, and eventually it will come under pressure. Once you do it once or twice, then hopefully that will become a little bit easier for you. But don't neglect your doubles. Don't just practice on your trebles. You know, practice on your doubles as well, and out shots, and that'll help.
Okay.
So, Rob, from your side, I mean, we remember the year you won the World Championship. Your finishing was out of this world, really.
Yeah, it was all for that step back. Yeah, just taking me time and calming myself. I don't know, for you, what works for me. I like to get my breathing right, so I'm in control of my own body. So I don't tense up and things. You can get tight on doubles, and that's only why I started to step back, believe it or not, because I was pulling a lot of doubles in the outer ring and just not sort of getting the results what I wanted. So I took my time, and when I sort of look at the double, I make sure that I try and get it out my hand as perfect as I can. So just sort of take your time and relax. At the end of the day, look, if the double doesn't go in, it's not going to kill you. Hopefully not, anyway. So just relax.
Depends how much you miss by, really.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Or we can get a bounce out, but no, it's not a bees or an end all, and they will go eventually. Like Merv said, it's just practice your doubles, get your out shots going, and once you start putting them combinations together, 3 darts at double, they should start to go.
Okay. Two cracking answers there for Timothy. So, Timothy, the best of luck to you practicing.
I have another question.
All right, and go for it. You sound very eager. I'm not going to stop you.
To both players, who's your favorite opponent on stage?
Favorite opponent? Merv, go on.
I'm still thinking.
Are your ears burning, Rob?
I'm not going to pick you, mate.
My favourite opponent. Oh, it's got to be Barney, I suppose. I just the speed that Ray plays, and it fits in with my game. I don't always win, of course not, but the speed he plays, it's just free the way he plays. It's not there's no gamesmanship there. It's where some players like to do a little bit here and a little bit there to put you off. But I I suppose everyone's got their thing that they do. But I just find that the speed that Ray plays at suits me. So I enjoy playing it.
Timothy's two favorite players against each other then. So Rob, who you've had some time to think now. Who is it?
No, I quite enjoy playing Gezi, to be honest. I think he's got a nice speed and he gets up for it, he gets pumped, and I think he can sort of get me going a little bit more. So I enjoy playing Gezi. He's a nice speed for me. He gets on with it, and when he's pumping, it's brilliant.
That sounds good. So, Timothy, you got 2 questions away there, mate. Absolute pleasure. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight, and enjoy the last 5 to 10 minutes of the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Timothy.
Cheers. Bye now.
Bye.
So, because there is one final thing that I would like to cover with you guys, as we are edging ever so much closer to the conclusion of the Premier League, we're going to have a little look at the table here, because it is as close as it's rarely ever been, really. And so there are a couple of names that are still in the running for the playoffs there. If you could put your money on someone, obviously you can't, but who would your money go on, Merv? Because this seems like an open
to win it
competition,
outright,
really.
or to make the playoffs? To win it outright or make the playoffs?
Maybe both. Maybe who are your 4 players that make the playoffs, and who's your money on when it comes to winning the entire thing?
See, I personally, I'd like to see Jose win it. As daft as his counting is at times, I just love the way he plays the game. He just gets on with it, and he's great. I think Johnny Clayton will make the playoffs. At whose expense? I don't know. I'm going for Clayton to make the playoffs and maybe Jose to win it.
Because that's the difficulty at the minute, Merv, right? When you look at it, you've got to take someone out of the top 4 to put someone else in, and then you think, no, I can't take him out. Because they're all so good, really. It's weird. I mean, Rob, you've been in it this year. Who would you go for?
I think the overall winner at favours probably Michael. Obviously, with crowds coming back and stuff, and he's buzzing at the minute. He's been playing really well. He's back in form, so I think Michael will win it. I would like to see Jose, and the thing is, darts is a funny game because Jose, the way he's been scoring in the Premier League this year, he's been phenomenal. The 180 is what he's hit, the big scoring. I think if it all clicks with his counting also, and he don't give sort of silly legs away here and there, that's no disrespect. I think he's got a massive chance because his scoring's phenomenal. He's going to buy himself a load of chances. But I do believe Michael wins it overall, and I don't know. It'll be out of Nathan or maybe Dimitri, maybe to come out and Johnny to swap, maybe because Johnny's been playing really well. But I think there's 5 people up there all in contention of each other, and they've definitely been the 5 best players in the Premier League this year.
But it is funny that you both mentioned Jose de Sousa, because he is so incredibly entertaining, and Mervyn. It must be so difficult to play him. I mean, on the one hand, of course, because his scoring is out of this world, but he's so unfazed as well. He seems you can't rattle him. Like even when he miscounts, he then just takes out whatever he's left, double 13 or whatever weird double it is.
You got to blow him out of the water. Simple as that. He's one of these players that if you're ifs and buts when you're playing him, you'll pay the price. You've got to go there and you've got to take the game to him and basically not give him a chance because he'll take it. Simple as.
He's shown that time and time again. I mean, we're going to continue the Premier League coming Monday. It's going to be massive. It's going to be hugely entertaining. And we hope that the final viewer question of this 10th episode of the Not So Late Night Darts Show by HYLO is also going to be very entertaining. And we're going for a very nice compromise here. We're not going to pick a man. We're not going to pick a woman. We're going to pick a man and a woman, Jens and Anja. And I'm quite eager to find out what they've got to ask our two stars of tonight's show. As soon as they've clicked the unmute button, we'll be able to hear them as well. That would help. There we go. Hi there, Jens. Hi, Anja.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
Hi.
So, da sind wir.
Oh, we can see them as well. Hi there, guys. So you get the honor of the final question of the show. So
that's very, very, very nice.
That's the way we do it. So what's the question and who's it for?
I have the question to Mervyn and Rob. It's how do you think to build the order of merit by earning your money? Would you think it's better to build the order of merit by points? So you think you win one tournament and you get 12 points, the other one in the final got 10 points and so on, and the last 10 have points and the other don't have points. What do you think, what is better, to make the order of merit by the money you earn, or to make the order of merit by points?
To be honest with you, I don't think it makes any difference what way you do it, because if you win the tournament, you're going to get more points. The same as if you win the tournament, you're going to get more money. So to me, I can't see it being any different, whether it's points or prize money.
Okay.
From your side, Rob?
I personally think, I don't know really with points, because obviously BDO and if the PDC ever did do it as points, I've never experienced that. So I think for me, I quite like having the money on the ranking, really, because when not only that, if anyone wants to get into it, they can see what the players are earning at the top of the game and stuff. And I think it sort of drags the youngsters and brings the next generation in, because you can earn a decent living out of it now. It's an easy way to check. But not only that, I think with the money, I think everyone, that's really what you're playing for: winning trophies, putting them on your mantelpiece, and feeding your family. So I think it's a good way, really, to put it onto money and sort of keep going through and keep playing. And it makes you sort of, obviously you want to win. You want to win. Everyone wants to win. And if there was no money in the game, probably not everyone would turn up to play the game. So yeah, I think that's the way most people's heads work. So they would aim for that, and it's a living. And for me, it's the best way, definitely.
Okay, thank you. Very interesting for me.
Cracking answer there from Voltage, Rob Cross. Thank you very much, Jens. Thank you, Anja. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and thanks so much for joining us. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. So, and with this question, we conclude the 10th episode of the Not So Late Night Darts Show by HYLO. So first things first, I want to say thank you very much to each and every viewer that joined us here on Zoom. Everyone who asked a question, absolutely brilliant. We love to get in touch with you guys. And also thank you to everyone who watched on YouTube. It was a great show, was a great evening. And most importantly, thank you so much to our two stars of the show tonight, the 2018 World Darts Champion, Rob Cross. Rob, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been really good. I really enjoyed it.
It's been our pleasure to have you. And thank you so much, Mervyn, for taking the time to join us here tonight.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Thank you for inviting me. Cheers.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure to have you guys on. And I can't wait to see you guys very soon, hopefully, at an event down the line, hopefully a European tour event somewhere with fans. It would be brilliant to go back to normal. So thank you very much to you guys. Thanks a lot to everyone who watched. Keep your eyes peeled on the social media pages of the PDC Europe. We're going to announce the guests of the next show in 2 weeks' time. Give us a like on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. Leave us an abo there. you'll always be up to date on the next show. So thank you everyone for watching. Thanks again to Merv and Rob. Have a good night, everyone, and bye-bye.